All right, this is the Vosteed Hedgehog. As I like to start most of my videos, I like to talk about price and what the expectations that come with that price mean. So, this being the Hedgehog, this being from Vosteed, this knife comes in at about $140. And as far as scale goes, that's a pretty compact package for 140 bucks. But I think there's some other things in here that make this knife interesting, especially for a lot of people who've been talking a lot about this orange and black one. Recently, Vosteed seemed to be on a mission to rework how locking mechanisms can go. And that comes from their last knife, well, 2 knives ago, I guess now, where they had this kind of reverse frame lock in the back here. Let's zoom in real quick, get an idea for it. So solving the button lock issue, but keeping the idea and the convenience of a button press to open and close. Obviously, you have your opener back here, your standard thumb stud here, and then you have the channel as well. So there's what, 4 options now as to how to open this knife, and probably Vosteed will continue along this path for the foreseeable future. That's my assumption, not from them, don't take it as gospel. Returning to the knife and its specs, you have the aluminum handle with the frag pattern, you have the ambidextrous carry along with the lanyard option as well, you have the S35 VN steel for the blade, and then you have these different opening mechanisms, and the frame itself is very tight. I'm not getting any rock, and then you can't do the thing, I'm gonna call it the wizard opening again, and the whole package I would say feels extremely tight, but knives don't exist in a vacuum, nothing's in a vacuum, so let's bring in 2 competitors or 2 scaled variations that this knife could be looked at against. First one being Devo Pony Stout, of course, and the other one being Civivi Regulatron. Now, the Pony Stout's closer in price to the Vosteed, and then this guy is coming in at what, 50 bucks? Something like that, 55 bucks. So you can honestly buy 2 of these knives or one of this knife. But looking at the size of these things and the footprint of them, you can kind of see we're looking at for these like small compact carries and how these pocket clips line up and might sit in your pocket. Like I appreciate, again, let's talk about the WE video, I appreciate the way this thumb clip is set where it can easily also go in and out of my pocket, it doesn't sit too high up, and at the same time I can get a comfortable grip on it when I'm holding the knife here. And obviously there's a lot of channels to put your hand. It's not a molded grip, fortunately, I would say, but there's a nice space for you to get whatever finger you might want to on this knife. Let's go back out so the camera's struggling to focus. But there are other interesting comparisons as well with this knife, like looking at the thickness of the scales here. Obviously the Regulatron having a very thin, what am I saying? Very thin handle that can easily fit in the palm and is a very compact carry, whereas this knife has the thickest of the scale, especially when it's closed. If you look at the profiles, when they're closed, the Devo having the smallest profile of those 3. But if you look at the opening options, you have 1 option, 4 options, 1 option. Granted, this option is like the best thing ever, but at the same time, if that at all influences people's choices, then this knife is like a choose your own adventure for how a knife can feel and how you can operate a knife how you want it to be. Let me know how you guys feel about this blade finish, because technically it's like a modified sheep's foot finish compared to something like a reverse Tonto that Civivi was working on with the EX1, which is also another small compact knife they don't have on hand. But looking at this, it's a really great shape, and then I've liked it in the knives that I've used so far, but just looking at it, what do you guys think about this knife? Obviously there's the technical specs that are available on the website, I won't go into those too much. For now, I'm going about how this knife feels to use and to operate and how it is in the hand. So, to using this knife, I mean, it's as easy as it gets. Speaking of ease of use, one more for fun. Now that is one snappy, compact knife. Now, obviously holding it, I like this little groove right here, because again, my hands are not ginormous, but I can clutch up on it nicely. And if I'm, let's say, cutting something or opening something, I have really good control of where this blade is going, and I have a lot of confidence in using it. And like the thicker scales here, I can get my hands around it, I can have a lot of real estate to hold it and to be comfortable with it and confidence. And so I feel like it doesn't feel like it is going to roll around in my hand. Now with the thicker scales, this means that I can hold the knife really with a lot of firmness and it doesn't feel like it's going to roll around at all in my palm. And the lightness of this pocket clip here means that I don't feel it digging into my hand at all. And opening it, let's say 1/1002, about the same as the WE sword fin I was working with earlier. But this knife just goes so nicely into position. But those are my thoughts on these three knives. Let me know what you think of the Vosteed Hedgehog and what you would like to see in the future. I'm trying to do an easier to edit format so I can get these videos out to you quicker and in an easier manner. But thank you for watching the end of the video, and I will see you in the next one.